Started.
Hello everyone from the Mullah News Network. This is your host Alan reporting from San Carlos, California. Today we're going to talk about the banking crisis and we've got a very special guest called Oliver. Oliver, good afternoon.
Hi.
How old are you?
10.
Good. And where do you go to school?
San Carlos Charter Learning Center.
Lovely. And what are your favorite things to do, Oliver?
Mostly I just like reading.
Okay. And what do you read?
Pretty much anything I can get my hands on, really.
Very nice. What's your favorite book?
So many I can't even say one.
That's good. I love to read as well. Now today we're going to talk about money. Have you heard of the banking crisis at all?
Yeah, I have.
It's always in the news, isn't it?
Mm.
So tell me, Oliver, what is a bank? Have you been to a bank before?
Well, I've been to a bank once or twice to store my money in it, but other than that, not really. Anyway, so isn't a bank somewhere where you can store your money without actually having to put it in your special piggy bank or something?
Exactly. That's exactly what a bank does. And why do you store your money in the bank?
Well, I think they can give you rewards for putting it in there, and also it's probably a lot safer.
Exactly. Because if you keep your money at home, someone might come in and take your money. Or you might go out shopping and you might lose your money, right? So it's a great idea to keep it in the bank because a bank is very, very safe. It's got people watching your money all the time. But if lots and lots of people give money to the bank, what do they actually do with this money?
Don't they loan it out?
Exactly. Now, what is a loan, Oliver?
It's where they give It's where they give your money to somebody else, but then they have to pay all of the money back and a little bit more.
Exactly. Now, what do people do with the money that they borrow from the bank or that the bank loans them? What kinds of things do they buy?
Cars, things for their business. They could be really major things or really minor things.
Okay. Can you tell me about a major thing that people buy with this money?
Houses,
Houses. How much does a house cost usually?
$450,000.
Ooh, in this area that will buy you a very small house. How much would a big house cost?
$1 million.
Easily $1 million in the Bay Area, in San Francisco, in this area. It's a lot of mullah. Now, how much would a car cost?
I'm not really sure. 50,000.
That would be a very nice car. Yes, you could buy a car for 50,000. But you could buy a small car for about 10,000 if you're very lucky. New. So, of course, people use the money to buy different things. Now, can you tell me about what a mortgage is? What is a mortgage?
It's a loan where people take out money so that they can buy a house. Except they don't all take it out in one chunk. Well, they take the money out in one chunk, but they don't pay it back in one chunk. They pay it back in a few small chunks over maybe 6 years or something.
I see. Well, that would be a very good mortgage to have, but usually mortgages are about 25 to 30 years.
Wow.
So when people start, they're usually in their 20s, they've just come out of college, they buy a house, and they've got 30 years to pay back the mortgage. So usually they finish paying the mortgage when they're about 50 and earning a lot more money. Okay, can you tell me something else about a mortgage?
I don't really know much else about mortgages.
Okay, I'll tell you something very important. When you take out a mortgage, it's your house. You can decorate it, you can put up your stuff in it, you can put your bed in it, you can put a couch in it. But who actually owns the house?
The bank, because it's their money that they give to you.
Exactly, and at any time they can take the house back. So it's very, very good to continue paying the loan and to pay it back early. Now, what was the housing bubble? Have you heard about the housing bubble?
No, actually not.
Okay, the housing bubble was a period during which everybody was buying a house. Why were they buying a house? Because the prices of houses were going up. Therefore, the banks wanted to give loans to many, many, many more people because the houses they have were more and more valuable. So it was very, very safe for them to give the money out to buy houses. So people were buying the houses because they knew the price of the house would go up. Actually, why were they buying the houses?
Because there was a population boom.
A very small population boom. A lot of people were coming into the United States, and therefore there were more people than houses, and therefore, you know, it was a good idea to buy a house. Therefore, the prices of houses were going up. But there was another reason why people wanted to buy houses. Why was that? Can you think? Well, let's say you have a toy, and you can buy it for $1, and then tomorrow someone's going to offer you $5 for the toy. Is that a good deal?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. So what do?
You sell it.
You sell it. But what do you do with other toys?
You try and sell them.
You try and sell them, so you try and buy them. So were people actually buying the houses to live in?
No, they were buying them to sell them.
They were buying them to sell them, exactly. And the banks were very, very eager to have a piece of the action, so they were giving loans for people to buy houses so they could sell them. Now, what was the big problem?
Because they might exhaust all of the money that they had. So when they had all of that money and then they loaned all of it out, they probably wouldn't have enough to loan to everybody.
That's a very, very good explanation, and that's exactly what happened. In fact, where were people getting the money to pay back the loans?
You mean the bank or the actual?
The actual people who were buying the houses.
They were getting it from businesses that they were employed in.
Okay. And do you remember what the recession was? What happened during the recession?
Banks gave out too many loans, so prices kept going down and there was a big crash.
There was a big crash, and what happened in the crash? What happened to people's jobs?
They lost them.
They lost their jobs. Now, if they lost their jobs, could they still earn money?
No.
Exactly. So what happened to the banks?
They all went down because they all started closing down because A, they didn't have any people, and B, because there were no people to put money in their banks.
Exactly. There were no people to put money in the banks, and the people who owned the houses couldn't pay back the loans because they didn't have jobs. Therefore, what did the banks do to the houses?
They took them.
They took them back, and what did they do when they took them?
They sold them.
Right, and there were all these houses that the banks were trying to sell, but nobody had a job, so nobody could buy them. So what happened to the price of the house?
They went down.
Exactly, and that's what we call banking crisis. And that was a big, big cause of the recession. Oliver, thank you very, very much. You've been splendid, and I really enjoyed it. Do you have any more questions?
Well, it's really off topic, but I know that businesses have lots of money and they keep getting money from people, but where do they get the money that they originally start the businesses with? Out of their own pocket, or do they get loans as well?
That's a very, very good question, Oliver. And often it depends what type of business you want to start. If you want to start a factory that has machines and lots of equipment and lots of people there, you need to ask the bank for a loan, or you need to ask your family for a loan, but usually you need a lot of money to do that, okay, because a plant is big and a factory is really, really big. But if you're starting a small business, you know, and you're making shirts in your house, or you're making books, or you're writing books, you're a writer, you don't need a lot of money to start. You need money to buy paper, you need money to buy a computer perhaps, maybe a couple of $1,000s, and you can ask your friends and family. Another way to ask for money is to ask what we call venture capitalists or investors. And the investor will say, okay, I'll give you the money now, and you can buy your computer, and if you're successful, I will take a part of your business. In fact, I'll take a part of your business right now, okay? And when you're successful in your big shot and your books are everywhere, like Harry Potter, for instance, then I'll take a percentage of your business. If you make $1 million, I'll take 50%. I'll take 500,000 and leave you with 500,000. Is that a good deal?
Probably not, because even if they do get you started, 50% is a lot.
I see. What is a
I'd
good
give-
percentage?
Probably somewhere more around 30% or 40%.
Great. Oliver, do you want to do a startup with us?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Oliver. And goodbye from the Muller News Network.
Bye.